Hey guys, Lori here, pharmacist. First of all, I want to thank you for all of you who have responded to my connection request on LinkedIn. I really do appreciate it. I've had discussions with several of you and it's been very rewarding and I appreciate the dialogue. So the reason I'm making this video is because I'm coming to you as a pharmacist whose heart is grieved at the direction our profession has taken and the direction our healthcare system has taken. I've been practicing over 26 years. I graduated in 1992 and have been practicing since 1993. I actually was a pharmacy tech in the early 80s for my family-owned pharmacy. So I've seen, again, huge changes, and they have not been for the better. Not for the patients, not for the healthcare system, and certainly not for the pharmacist. Now, I know a lot of you out there that have connected with are not in retail pharmacy. You're working somewhere as a clinical pharmacist, hospital pharmacist, or some other really unique niche. And I would love to hear from you. I don't want to exclude you in this discussion. But I do want to bring some things to light. That is my goal. My goal is to help educate you and to enlighten you on the changes that have gone on so that we can understand whence we've come and where we are now. The reality of it is, if we just sit on the sidelines and do nothing, if we don't rise up, if we don't work on a strategy to change the face of the healthcare system, to change the face of what pharmacists are doing, particularly retail pharmacists, it's just going to stay the same, guys. So that's my goal. What I'm doing is launching a video series. They're just going to be short videos. I plan to keep them around 5 to 6 minutes because we're all busy, obviously. But I want to just share with you from my heart and explain why I'm concerned. I don't think any of you really probably questions the demise of our healthcare system. If you have any knowledge of it at all, or if you look at things statistically, we are going to be talking about statistics. We are going to talk about some controversial issues. I've put a few posts out there and received some negative feedback. I never have an issue with negative feedback because the bottom line is we have to discuss things. We're all at where we're at in our practice and with our perception based on our own personal experience. And nobody's is right or wrong. It's just different. We all have the ability to educate each other. But one thing I have learned is there's a big difference between what I learned in pharmacy school and the course of the years that I've practiced and where I've come to. And it's changed the course of my thinking hugely. If you notice on my profile, it does say holistic pharmacist. The reason I use the term holistic is because holistic medicine encompasses the body, the mind, and the spirit. It is not about just treating symptoms. And every patient is a whole person. And we'll get into more about that later. It's not that I'm into any kind of guru medicine or anything like that. But I have seen disease reversal through other methods of medicine other than just Western medicine. So we're always learning. We've never stopped learning. The reality of it is, even though I am a Christian, I do not impose my faith on anyone else, but none of us really knows how we got here, but we do know we're here. And so until we know that, the science is never going to be settled because we don't know all there is to know about our bodies. Every day is a learning process. That being said, not only is it important to know what we know, it's important to know what we don't know, because the problem with some healthcare professionals is that they don't know what they don't know. So anyway, to always be in that mode of learning, and that's even part of the pharmacist oath, which is another topic I want to bring up really quickly. When you look at the pharmacist oath by APHA and all the clauses in that, and you look at where our healthcare system is now and what's really going on with pharmacists, particularly again in retail, maybe in other arenas, I don't know. I'm looking for your feedback. It's tragic. I was talking to a Walgreens pharmacist the other day. He's been with Walgreens over 17 years, I think. And the term he used was, we're slaves. He's got bosses that aren't pharmacists. They do not understand his job. They're trying to get blood out of a turnip. It's not a pretty picture. And I'm just going to say, and if we sit on the sidelines and just continue to show up for work and do nothing about the tragic situation that's going on in the field of pharmacy and really all healthcare professions, it's not going to change. My belief is it's time for pharmacists to rise up. It's time for us to start interacting and sharing where we're at and why we're where we're at. You know, I'm always open to learning. I certainly don't know everything, and I'm open to learning from you, your experiences, because that's where it's at. Learning and remaining open to learning is always going to be what is going to keep us on the path to being the best healthcare providers we can be, and to being the best patient advocate we could be, the best public servant for our patients that we can be. All right. Again, my goal is to just launch a discussion here. I appreciate your feedback. I will be bringing in controversial topics. I'm not going to lie. I believe it's huge, because the one thing I've learned in my course of practice is that there's a lot of things I didn't learn in pharmacy school. And I'm sure you've had the same experience in some arenas, and I look forward to hearing from you on that. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, I appreciate all those who have connected with me, and let's do this thing. Let's look at changing the course of this profession and the direction it's going, because with so many pharmacists underutilized and being basically chewed up and spit out, their licenses are on the line because there's so much of a demand from them physically. Just 12-hour days is questionable if you ask me. So, but you know, again, it's all about discussion. All right, look forward to talking to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned.